There has been a lot to talk about with this up and down, mostly ineffective Philadelphia Eagles offense, whether it's Kevin Patullo, Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown and his drama, Saquon Barkley, and the drop off from last season. The number one problem may very well be, and this is a shock to Eagles fans when you look at what we've done the past few years, and that is the offensive line. And yes, I get it. We've had a lot of injuries, no doubt. But that doesn't change the fact that the offensive line has not been good. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We are about a week away from the very first step. Look, when you win a Super Bowl, you win a title, then the first thing you got to do the next season to defend that is actually make the playoffs. The Eagles have done that. We have a pseudo bye week this weekend, resting a lot of starters. And then we defend the title in about a week. I got to check. I'm not sure if they'll be playing on Saturday. It's probably going to depend on seeding. I'm not sure if they play Saturday or Sunday, but 7 or 8 days away. And one of the things that is going to determine whether they make a run to defend that Super Bowl title or they go home early, it's going to be the play of the offensive line. So let's talk about that a little bit. We actually have Barrett Brooks. Barrett Brooks called into WIP. Yeah, I know it's WIP, but I just want to listen to about a minute of this. We're going to talk about it and get into some other things with the offensive line because I think it's important.
Off the streets. Barrett Brooks. What's up, Barrett?
I mean, I gotta talk everybody off the bridge, man.
Okay.
Leave KP alone, man. Kevin Patullo is in a position where, yes, he's not as experienced as most passing callers, pass callers like you see in San Fran or you see with the Rams. But what you do see is him being effective when the guys are playing the way they're supposed to play. When they play undisciplined like they did in the second half, you're not going to get the production from the offense like you saw when you saw the Giants play. When you have guys getting beat at the snap of the ball, it doesn't matter what you call or who you're calling it for. These guys just aren't doing their jobs. And that's a big thing. And I'm an offensive lineman. I played for 12 years. And the best team that I had the best offensive line, and that's when I won a Super Bowl. We ran the ball 100 times more than we passed the ball. But it wouldn't matter if guys were missing blocks up front. Not, Jerome Bettis won't be as good a back as he can be. So, I mean, a lot of the times, it's not what we're calling, it's how guys are executing. And that's the problem.
Okay. All
Guys
right.
All right. Now, Barrett is both correct and incorrect, in my opinion. What do I mean by that? He's absolutely right that no matter what you call, if your offensive line is not good, if your offensive line is not playing well, that is going to be a problem. And we have definitely seen that. Does that absolve Kevin Patullo from his absolutely horrifically bad play calling? No. And I broke that down in a couple other videos. I think I did one yesterday where you looked at the routes and the play designs and all that. And there's simply, even if the blocking up front is good, those plays have very, very little chance of success because they're just poorly designed plays by Kevin Patullo. So poor offensive line play does not absolve Kevin Patullo from poor play calling. It's just not fair. So I just want to run you through a couple of things that are a serious, serious problem. We have this. Actually, I wanted to get to. Well, we'll talk about it now because it feeds into something else that I think is really interesting. This is Grant Calcaterra. Absolutely horrifically bad blocker. As you can see on field, off field, talking about his average EPA. Uh, when he's on, they're better when he's off the field than when he's on an average EPA, not by a ton, but he's just. Grant Calcaterra has not been good, and specifically has not been good as a blocker. And the reason I want to bring that up and just kind of show that without doing much of a deep dive, but just to show you the problem there is we have this. Now, I believe I wasn't able to confirm, but I believe the 13, one running back, three tight ends, is also includes the tush push, but that's not all 66 plays, obviously. But that formation, here are a couple of things: 1.68 yards per carry. Now, again, that includes the tush push. The tush push probably averages close to that, so it's not exactly great when it's not the tush push, but you can also see 87% of the time we have a running back and three tight ends. We run the football. This goes back to, again, play calling and offensive line in these situations, right? When a team knows you're going to run almost 90% of the time on a play, and when you have Grant Calcaterra in it, you're going to run the other way. That makes it very, very difficult for the players, as Barrett Brooks talked about, to execute and to be successful. Most effective running formations, one tight end formations for the Philadelphia Eagles. Not two, not with Grant Calcaterra in. No, it's one. 4.59 yards. That's the best. You also can see the percentage of rushes off the formation is a lot fewer. What does that mean? The other team doesn't know that we're going to run the football. You've got one tight end. We only run it 35% of the time in that formation. 4.59 yards per catch per run. Now, number two, it does have two tight ends in that, but 3.95. But if you look down at 11, one running back, one tight end, and an extra offensive lineman, 11.67 yards per carry, which is absolutely wild. Two tight ends and an extra OL, only 3.19. And again, we run 91% of the time. They know it's coming. So this just goes back to I wanted to get into how those things feed into each other. The formation, the predictability, the offensive line play, it all goes hand in hand. And hey, we can check this out. Offensive line, negative run percentage, weeks 11 through 17. We got to go all the way down here, folks. Number 26. Number 26, Philadelphia Eagles, 13.53%. And that is with Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, and Tank Bigsby. There is definitely an offensive line problem. There's no doubt about that. Again, does not absolve Kevin Patullo at all, but it absolutely is a problem. And a big part of that is what we're going to see right here. Check this out. 42 centers who have played at least 200 snaps this season. Cam Jurgens ranked 42nd in blown block rate on run plays. Yes, that is dead last. Don't ask me how he made the Pro Bowl. I do not know. I do not know. But we keep hearing how he's played injured all year. I do not understand how Brett Toth, healthy, is not better than the worst run block center in the NFL. Actually, I think I saw, now I don't have it, so I can't confirm, but I believe this is actually, I think he's actually overall the last. I think he's actually overall the last. And what I mean by that is all offensive linemen, not just center. But I mean, here's a great example. Check this out. Check out Cam Jurgens here. Here comes the snap. Boom. I mean, folks, we watch. I mean, he doesn't even, he can't even get off. Look at that. Now, thankfully, now again, we get nothing out of it. Thankfully, it's not as big as a loss as it could have been, but this is a complete whiff. I mean, that is how are we supposed to have an effective offense when that is happening? And again, he's 42nd out of 42 playing at least 200 snaps this season. And then finally, we had this, which also I think goes back to play calling, is why do we have the entire offensive line up and standing around and pointing and talking and I've never seen anything like that. I'm surprised that actually wasn't a false start. They weren't all set for a second, but you just don't see anything like that with the rest of the teams in the NFL. We didn't see that with the Eagles last year. Clearly, the offensive line is a serious concern. Jordan Mailata hasn't been playing well. I did just hear that he's been playing injured, which is the first I've heard of that all season long. And we were talking about early in the season that how he wasn't playing like himself. So I don't know if he's actually been injured all season long as well, and we didn't know it. It seems like our entire offensive line has basically played the entire season hurt. It's like I don't know. I don't know what that means, but yeah. So this is going to be a concern going forward. I think with the talent the Eagles have, and I really cringe at saying this because I don't want to let Kevin Patullo off the hook, but I think if I had to choose between, hey, have the offensive line play better come playoff time, or change the play calling. As much as I want to see the play calling change, I think if it was called the same as it is with what the offense has done with that, a better offensive line is going to make more of a difference, have more of a positive impact on the Eagles than changing the play calling at this point, this late date. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, we get out of, for those who do play, we get out of the Washington game without any injuries. A lot of guys get some rest. We're fresh, we're healthy, and we're ready to defend that title the following week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out the video. As always, smash the like button, subscribe. I will talk to you later.